Alright guys, in today's video we have an interesting Xbox rumor to go over and talk about. We are talking about the Microsoft Bethesda acquisition, and I think that PlayStation owners, at least some of you, and especially those of you who are interested in Bethesda games, you're going to want to pay attention to this because it seems like we may be getting an answer to the question that everybody has been asking ever since we learned about this acquisition, and that is, are Bethesda titles going to continue to make their way to the PlayStation platform as well as other platforms, or are they going to become exclusive to the Xbox platform? This is a question that Microsoft has not necessarily answered very clearly, and so a lot of people are hoping that once this acquisition is finished, once it goes through, we're going to have an answer to this. So we're going to talk about it. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button to help the video out and show your support, I would really appreciate that. And I want you to leave a comment down below letting me know how much it would matter to you, if it would matter at all, if Bethesda's games were announced to be exclusive to the Xbox platform going forward. Is that something that would really be a big deal to you? Would it really not matter? Would it matter maybe a little bit? Let me know down in the comments below. But before we get into the rumor, I do want to let you know that the reason why this rumor most likely popped up, the way it did, is because we learned that the European Union's antitrust regulator has approved Microsoft's proposed $7.5 billion acquisition of ZeniMax. Now, this was something that could have gotten in the way of it, but it didn't. It went through smoothly and they got the green light. So right after this news came out, a rumor popped up. It says, after Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda cleared a major hurdle within the last 10 hours, the company has the door wide open for them to officially acquire Bethesda and bring them into the Microsoft family. Signs are pointing to Microsoft detailing that relationship later this week. It goes on to say the first sign that points towards this event is from Jeff Grubb, who has been keeping track of gaming events over the last year and is a known insider who has revealed a lot of information in the past ahead of official announcements. Grubb updated his schedule with an event on March 11th titled What's Up with Xbox Bethesda Acquisition. Now, on top of that, apparently the Xbox UK official Twitter account also tweeted out a schedule for this week's events from their channel, Xbox On, and notably, Thursday doesn't have a stream, with a TBA slotted in there instead. So this is the second sign that clearly points to something going on this Thursday. Goes on to say both of these at least hint that something will happen on Thursday. Previous rumors have suggested that this event will focus on the business end of the partnership rather than showcasing new games, which will be saved for E3. This means that here is when we will likely get confirmation about whether or not future Bethesda games will come to PS5 or any other small details that people are interested in. And even though it's looking likely we're not going to see any new game announcements or anything like that, it really wouldn't make sense for them to have just a bunch of big game announcements randomly in March. That's not normally when these things go down. I could maybe see a tease of something, maybe a Starfield tease, maybe I don't know, a new trailer, something like that. But if you think about it, if this really is when Microsoft plans to let Sony know whether or not they can expect to get any more Bethesda games in the future, that's big enough in it of itself. Now, I'm really interested in this, not so much because I'm a big Bethesda fan. Truthfully, I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and say I've never played any of their games. I liked the Evil Within series. You know, I think Doom's pretty good, but I'm just not a huge Bethesda fan. And so for me personally, regardless of what they end up deciding, it doesn't have a big effect or impact on me. But as somebody who does cover PlayStation here on the channel, and as somebody who's just always involved in the conversation surrounding these consoles and these companies, it's going to be a big deal regardless of which way they end up going. So if Microsoft has this event, and by the time the event's done, it's been made pretty clear that Bethesda's games are going to continue to come to PlayStation 5 and 4 and just the PlayStation platform, that's going to be a big blow, I think, to not Xbox fans, because I think that there are a lot of Xbox fans who do not care, but there are certainly a lot of Xbox fans who do care, a lot of Xbox fans who have been kind of holding on to this and really, using this as like, this is it, like this is Microsoft really kind of showcasing their full comeback. And when they announced that all of Bethesda's games, or at least most of them or the majority of them, are going to be exclusive, that's going to be a big deal. I mean, come on. How many times have we heard Xbox fans say that there's no way Microsoft spends this amount of money on an acquisition of this size just to announce that their games are going to continue to go to the competing platform? I actually totally agree with that logic. It's very sound logic. It makes a lot of sense, but I would argue that this is an acquisition that we haven't really seen before in terms of like the size and scope of it, right? It's something that's just on another level. Bethesda's games are, I think in the past they've been synonymous with Xbox in some cases, but they're known to be everywhere. So you look at the way Phil Spencer operates, right? You look at his past decisions, the way he talks about the industry, the way he talks about exclusivity. He just doesn't seem like the type that's going to suddenly pull the rug out and be like, yep, this is it. But maybe he is. I don't know. Phil Spencer's kind of went back and forth before. Sometimes it sounds like he cares and he wants to like win, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. Other times it seems like it's not about winning. It's about just, growing the industry as a whole. And you really can't tell. And so I think we'll have a pretty good idea of what Microsoft's intentions are over the course of this next generation or this current generation when we get this announcement. Now, I want to make it known that we don't know for sure that this is what Microsoft is going to talk about on Thursday. They might not mention anything about exclusivity whatsoever. I just would find it hard to believe that they would have some type of dedicated event or live stream for this Bethesda acquisition to then still not answer the question. I will tell you this. If they always intended to have Bethesda's games exclusive to the Xbox platform, then that's definitely something they're going to want to make abundantly clear. I feel like if they don't want to make them exclusive and they're kind of going to let them do their own thing and continue to release on any platform they want, I don't know that they're going to be so clear about that, because they probably know that a lot of people are going to make a big deal of it, right? Like they may actually upset some Xbox fans, believe it or not. There may be some Xbox fans who, when they find out that, hey, these games are not going to be exclusive, they're going to be upset. They're going to freak out. They're going to rage. I've seen plenty of comments from Xbox fans saying that they would be disappointed and kind of upset if Microsoft didn't make these games exclusive to the Xbox platform. It's really weird. There's a lot of back and forth. I've seen a lot of Xbox fans, they talk about how it's good for, exclusive games to go to other platforms and for more people to play them. But then in situations like this, they seem to be advocating for exclusivity. It's a little bit weird. I get it. I mean, it's kind of just the back and forth nature of all this stuff. But if you want my opinion and what I'm expecting, I'm just kind of anticipating the worst. And by the worst, I'm talking about from a PlayStation fan's perspective. That being that every single Bethesda game going forward is going to be on Xbox and not on PlayStation. That's what I'm anticipating, just to prepare myself. Not that it would really matter that much to me, but I guess my suggestion to all PlayStation fans, right? Like if you're somebody who really does like Bethesda's games, or even if you're just a fan of like a few of them, such as the Elder Scrolls or Fallout, I would highly suggest you assume that they're going to announce these games are exclusive, just so you're not shocked or feeling really bad about it if you're a PlayStation player and you find out you can't play these games on the PlayStation platform anymore. But I also would not be shocked if we found out that this is basically just a Game Pass move. If we found out that it was never really about exclusivity, it was about having these games to put into Game Pass, I would not be shocked. Like, if Game Pass truly is the priority for Microsoft, okay, there's no reason for them not to release these games on PlayStation. I just, logically speaking, business-wise, there's no reason for them to go out of their way to make it so that Bethesda is no longer developing games for the PlayStation platform. That doesn't affect Game Pass at all. What it does do is it makes the Xbox. So if they were to announce that, you know, all these games are hitting Game Pass day one, which we already know that, but then they also make it clear they're still going to release on other platforms such as PlayStation, then at that point, it's more of Microsoft not trying to strong arm you into their ecosystem, but trying to make it hard to avoid their ecosystem, you know, because they could do that. They could strong arm you into it. They could just be like, look, we want you in here, and we're going to get you in here. And we know that there's millions and millions of people who play Bethesda games on PlayStation. Well, if you want to play Bethesda's games, you're going to have to play them on the Xbox ecosystem now. They could strong arm you into their ecosystem, or they could try to create a deal or a value that's that's just so good that majority of people are going to just say, you know what, yeah, I'm going to go over here because I want to play this Bethesda game and that Bethesda game, and I only have to pay $10 a month to do so, right, when I want to play it. And then anybody who doesn't want to do that, because there will be people who will absolutely not do that, Microsoft will still get sales from those players. They will still make money off of those players who will just never go to Game Pass. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to like kind of wade through all of this because I have a feeling that we are going to learn about this week. And regardless of, as I said, what decision they make, it's going to generate a lot of conversation. And, you know, you already know that if they do make it exclusive, Xbox fans are going to go hog wild. You know, they're going to just lose their minds. And, you know, it's understandable. It's a huge win for the Xbox ecosystem if that's what they do. But it'll be very interesting, just as interesting, if we find out that these games are still going to release on PlayStation. So anyway, I didn't mean for this video to turn out so long. I just did a lot of rambling, but I find it very interesting, you know, because this is the question that everybody's been waiting for, you know, an answer for. And it seems very likely we're going to have the answer to this question later this week. So leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon. And feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.